You ready?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Welcome everyone to the Budgy Smugglers.
Hello.
I'm Stephen Bradshaw. This is Jeremy Dooley, comedian extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Oh, I'm off to a rough start.
I know. You're going to get flamed from angry South African rugby Kiwi fans.
Oh, my goodness. We'll get into that in a sec. How was your week, Dools? What'd you get up to? What gigs did you have?
It was a good week. I had a corporate on the Tuesday night, I think it was.
You don't have to name the business, but what type of a business was it?
It was a conference, so a collection of businesses.
Yes.
And I think corporates are a great way to let you know as a comedian that you've got a lot less material than what you think. It was fine. It was partly doing comedy, partly hosting their awards ceremony. But there was, I don't know, 150 people there in a room that was probably for 500 people. So it felt very empty and like they weren't in seats or even around tables. They were all standing. So it was not conducive to good.
Good comedy.
Yeah,
great conference.
Exactly.
Not the best comedic
I'm sure it was a
corporate
fantastic conference and I'm sure they got a lot out of it. And then Thursday night, I had a school fundraiser gig in Geelong at St. Joe's, which was great. I'm with Limo and Bron Lewis, who both crushed.
What a lineup!
It was a hot show. They were fantastic. Great audience. Yeah, I hosted that. It was really good, really, really fun audience. There was a baby in the audience. There was a man whose mustache had grown to be attached to his sideburns. So that's you always love that. Had a good time with them. Some very flirtatious older women in the front row. So baby. That's, hello boys.
That's why we got into the biz, baby.
Yep. And then Friday night was also in Geelong for Comedy at the Nash with yourself, hosting that one. Did a lot of hosting this week.
You did do a lot of hosting.
But it was fun. The Geelong Nash at the National Hotel gig, that was a good bit of fun. Hosting that was fun. I was just riffing for most of it.
You were having a good time. I've got two on this one, but I've got for the listeners at home, if you haven't seen my performance, there is a part of one of my jokes where I talk about male impotence, and then I talk to the crowd about it. The guy I picked out of the audience, we'd established his name was Insane Kane.
Yep.
And then when I called him basically a limp dick, the look on his face, I was scared of my safety. But woke up the next morning and found a little Insane Kane had followed me on the Instagram.
He's good. Insane Kane comes from a good boxing gym.
Does he?
Yep. That's how we discovered his name, because I was on stage and having been in the fight game for a very long time, you can spot them in the audience. I can pick someone if they've got a fight sport background and his haircut was the giveaway. And I was like, I bet you, like, you've got some martial arts background. And he just looked shocked, and his girlfriend, Erin, who also gave me a follow, to
good on you, Erin.
Both of them. She lost her mind laughing, and obviously it's like, what do you have, like a cool little nickname? And Insane Kane was his nickname.
Kane come out, but yeah, that was nice. Thanks for the follow. I hope you're listening. Insane Kane, another smuggler amongst the mix. And then the next, I did a gig on Saturday night as well at Bard's Apothecary, and I was doing the same bit.
Yep.
And I pointed out to a man, he'd been married for 50 years. He was there with his partner of 50 years. And I said that about him. And she said, oh, no, he doesn't. It still works. And it was the highlight of the night. Run out into the audience, gave him a huge high five. But that was fun. If you come see me live, if you want me to challenge your manhood.
A lot of lead
challenge
in the pencil.
Me back.
A lot of lead. No, we love that. It's good. Yeah, it's been a good week. Just, just trying to get back into the swing of writing. You know. So I've got another big couple of weeks, and then June is very much about let's get the new stuff cooking. How about yourself? We were on those couple of gigs. What else did you have on?
Did that one. Did the first ever Mount Eliza Comedy Club, I believe they called it, which was good for packed house. Tuesday night, great crowd. Shout out to everyone at the Mount Eliza. Mount Isa?
Mount Isa's in Queensland.
Mount Eliza.
It would be Mount Eliza.
Mount Eliza Country
Mount
Club
Evelyn?
folk. No, it was definitely Eliza.
Okay, cool.
The lovely crowd had a good time there. Wednesday, I'm sure I did something on Wednesday. I did comedy roulette, which is always fun. Always fun. I was a little bit under the weather, so I missed a show on Thursday, sadly. And then, with you on Friday and Saturday night, we just spoke about Bards.
Great.
So it's good weekend. The new stuff's coming together. You got to hear it. Some of it for the first time. It needs a lot of polishing, but it's come a long way in just a couple of weeks. So I'm pretty happy that any of it's getting laughs, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. It did go down very hilariously. So well done.
Speaking of hilarious, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start.
Well,
we might dedicate the whole episode to the comment section.
That. We've managed to piss off 2 different countries and fans of one sport.
Yeah, mate.
Or kind of 2 sports. 2 sports, really.
Apparently, they are 2 sports. I thought it was one, but I wanted to start off with some positives in the comment section. Shout out to the wonderful Steph Kyriacou. What did we land on?
Kyriacou.
Steph Kyriacou. She's LPGA Tour pro. She's on a hot streak. We'll talk about her in a moment.
Hit a bird.
She hit a bird. She hit an albatross. And we put a post up about that. And the wonderful Steph Kyriacou reposted it, which we loved. So that is one way. If you're an Aussie athlete and you want more time, if you want us to talk about you on the pod, just give us a repost because we'll put you straight into the pod each and every week.
How many? Because we've had a couple now get amongst it. I know big Ivan Soldo got amongst it. Someone else got into it. But, on your Steph, we love you. Honorary smuggler from here on in.
Budgy smuggler favourite. Also, we got a lot of support for your take on draws in the AFL, which I think it was, compared to what we're about to jump into, overwhelmingly positive. Very, very positive for your take on that.
There was a lot of comments and direct messages just saying 100%, or agreed, or leave the game alone. If only the AFL listened to fans.
They're not going to start now.
Okay, we copped...
maybe AFL? Bloody hell. It's not even in the pod, but what a mess. Exactly. What a debacle.
You guys are a disgrace. All right. So let's go with the first bit. The top 5 spinners you wouldn't expect to see in the boot of your car.
My favourite top 5 ever. My favourite top 5 ever.
It was a good one. A lot of people echoed this. This from Mr. Chris Fraser, nominated Colin Funky Miller and Phil Tufnell should have been in the top 5. Now that... A lot of people brought up those 2 names, a lot of Colin Miller and quite a few Phil Tufnells. I get it. But also, Colin Funky Miller got ruled out because he also bowled gentle medium paces, and Phil Tufnell, because I feel like you'd expect to see him in the boot. You'd open the boot of the car, he's like, oh yeah, it's Phil Tufnell, that checks out, and then you'd shut the boot. But if you open it, it's like, Monty Panesar, what's going on here?
You would be more surprised if Monty Panesar was in the boot of your car, to be fair. So that checks out. I agree with that.
Okay, and moving on now, we've got There's
so much to get through.
Okay, the first country we pissed off. The Tall Ferns comments. Because, look, I had a little bit to say. We both had a bit to say about the sporting names for some of the New Zealand national teams. And so... Joats or Joats, how would you pronounce that, you reckon?
Joats.
Gillaroos. Come on.
And then I replied, Gillaroo is a famous sheep shearer. Seems pretty accurate, at least when we play New Zealand.
That was a great comeback.
I was very happy with that. That also got a ton of likes on the thing.
Yep. Mr. Tonight 274. Because the Kangaroos and Wallabies are such awesome names. I mean comparatively,
to tall ferns, to a tall branch, I would much rather be called a kangaroo or a wallaby. And also G-Swag 185 said, because the Socceroos is such a fantastic name. I like Socceroos.
It's combining the sport with a kangaroo.
Yeah, exactly. Soccer. I think I did mention that in the comments. I think I said, don't you get it? It's soccer plus kangaroos, and they've combined the word. And G-Swag said, thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, he didn't know. Ram Raider 23. Now, this was a common comment.
Oh, my goodness.
And I haven't looked it up, so I'm hoping you did. Wait until you find out what New Zealand's badminton team, that's a bit of a mouthful. Wait until you find out what New Zealand's badminton team is called.
No, that was pretty good. I did look that up. Well, I didn't have to because I just got a barrage of the phrase black cocks across all of us. That's their name, the Black Cocks. I haven't seen that many black cocks in my DM since I started following Giddey, Jules.
That's got to be Mount Rushmore national sporting team names there, the Black Cocks.
The Black Cocks, I will give it up to New Zealand for that one. That is absolutely fantastic, the Black Cocks. And there was just so many. The first comment within seconds of posting it was just said Black Cocks. And I was like, what? Yeah. What is happening? Yeah.
Okay, now, before we get to the next one, I have said this to many people. Many people have asked me, like, I'm not a huge fan of sport. Will I like your podcast? And my response is always that if you really like sport, you'll probably really dislike this podcast.
This is not the podcast for you if you love sport, particularly if you're from this second country or a fan of, I guess, rugby.
The rugby codes.
The rugby sports.
So, Western Australian rugby team comments.
So, we had a bit of a discussion just around Western Australia getting their own rugby, I guess, league team with very little knowledge or forethought. Didn't even think much when I posted this clip, to be honest with you, Jules. But I tell you what, the people of Western Australia did.
I'll be honest, when you posted that clip, I was like, okay, that was an interesting choice. I thought we spoke about more interesting things, and holy shit.
All right, let's get into some of the comment. And thank you everyone for commenting, whether you love us. There was lots of positive feedback. We're not going to talk about that in here because it's not the place, but there are some great comments here.
Thank you for boosting our algorithm, exactly. You bunch of Muppets. All right, J_Newt24. If you're going to talk about it, get it right. Now, J_Newt24, I feel like we wouldn't have a podcast if we followed that rule.
I know. What would we talk about? Stats? Scores? I don't know. It keeps rolling in this theme as well. Oborn13 said, "This is embarrassing. ... You have time to take it down." Thank you, Oborn.
We have time to take it down. That implies that there's something's about to happen, and we've got a little bit of time. Oborn13. Maybe it's not your lucky number. All right, PT189NJ. That's a classic shit handle. Guys, it's rugby league, not rugby. This is how I'm imagining the tone of his voice. WA has a rugby team already. It's called the Western Force. Obviously, you have no idea what you're talking about. Stick to what little you know. And I think we've done, because we've shown that we know little about rugby, about your shit sport.
We know. Guys, it's rugby league, not rugby. What are you talking about? It's the same thing.
It's the same
rugby.
thing.
Call it something else then. Come up with a new name for rugby league if it's a completely different sport. But I tell you right now, if there was two screens in front of me, one of them was league, one of them was union, I wouldn't know which was which.
Okay.
We had Christoph Botha.
Is that meant to be
Christoph Botha?
Christoph
Botha?
Not Chris Toff.
I thought it was like
Botha,
Christ.
like he's a bit like I'm a
Christ
toff.
off Botha?
Yeah.
Could be. Anyway, South Africans don't care about league. They only watch union. Again, who cares? How do these boys even get a show? The level of ignorance and misinformation as a result is a bit tragic. How do these, I hate to break it to you, Christ of Botha, anyone can start a podcast. I think we've proven that. We've proven that. And I think, as you mentioned, I think we're in the top 5% most successful podcasts of all time.
And Christoph Botha, if you want to have a podcast where it's like super well informed and full of 100% information and put everyone to sleep, go for it.
Yeah,
I say.
So nuts.
You do you. From Perrings Z. Is this a G up? Western Force play a different sport.
I don't know what that is. I think we did discuss that in the thing, but obviously you watched the whole clip because he got to the end. But anyway, old mate Reese said, "Yikes. ... We really need to tax the price of microphones in Oz. These podcasts are out of control." Thank you, old mate.
Thank you. You're probably going to get stuck
We
with
hire,
tariffs
so, yeah.
anyway. So
Yep.
get stuffed. All right, Dougie, teach us how to Dougie. Very painful listen. Well, your name's Dougie and you're on TikTok, so you're either got a bad name for a young person or you're old and on TikTok.
Brett Hooper 1967219 said it's not rugby.
It looks like it to us.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Which bit's not rugby?
I don't know. I don't know.
BBB for a podcast that prides itself on Aussie Sport. That was disappointing to listen to. Well, I don't know if you listened to the whole thing.
We're not that proud. We're not that proud. Sorry. This is apropos. I don't even know if I'm going to say this one out loud, but Donald Trump is loved too. Just posted a Yogi Bear meme that read, "Look, boo boo, a retard."
There was an interesting Venn diagram of people hating on this and Donald Trump fans. A lot of Donald Trump people there and a lot of angry South Africans just saying maybe, Elon.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe that Venn diagram's a circle.
When you went in, because I didn't know the thing about South Africa, but everything's clicking into place.
It's fallen into place.
Clicking into place,
which
baby.
makes this next person here, Rojan Black, with the crucifixes, or maybe it's Rowan Black.
Rowan Black.
Wait, how is leaving South Africa because it's no longer safe make someone racist? Now, look, it doesn't.
No.
But I'm just saying, if you've ever been to Perth, and I'm guessing by your comment you haven't, you'll know that it's famously and proudly over there
very proud.
A bit racist, and there's a lot of South Africans, again, Venn diagram becoming a circle. Just saying, maybe you should stick to what you know and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and we'll stick to what little we know, which doesn't cover rugby. But I had a blast going through the comments.
Yeah.
I replied to pretty much everyone that I could.
And thank you so much, everyone, for commenting and boosting our algorithm. Keep hating because we love you.
I'm telling you right now, I haven't checked it in an hour. If I jumped on, I'm sure there'd be a bunch more comments that are just as hilarious. But for all the smugglers out there, please comment on our post. We'll talk about it on the pod. We'll give you a shout out. The more creative, the more funny, the better. Absolutely love it. But it was a fun week in the comment section for us. It's been a big week in sport, Dools.
Huge week. The honorary smuggler Steph Kyriacou came 5th last week in the Mizuho Americas Open.
Yes, one of your favorites.
It is,
that and the Black Desert.
Yep. It's the Mizuho, of course, is in a Japanese restaurant, and
it's open.
It's open. Yeah, it's good because when it's closed, like none of the golfers can go in there. And she's now in the top 40 of the world rank. How many is in the world rankings? Like, what's the bottom number?
Literally thousands, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that, or comment on it because I have no idea. But yeah, 2 top 10 finishes in the last 2 weeks for our girl Steph Kyriacou. So our favourite smuggler, get behind her. NBL rising stars Alex Toohey and Lachlan Olbrich. Do you know much about these two?
I think one of them played in Sydney.
Yes, I believe you're right. But they went out to the NBA draft combine, and from what I hear, have put both themselves into sort of round 2 calculations with their performances. Toohey went 15-3-2 in their little scrimmage, and Olbrich 15-10-2.
Now tell all the smugglers what sort of players are Alex Toohey and Lachlan Olbrich. Olbrich
is your sort of a little bit of an undersized centre, I believe, but bangs, goes hard, gets the rebounds. I mean, to get 15 and 10 in those scrimmage games, you do have to play pretty selfish in those scrimmage games. There's a lot of American ball hogs that play in that one, and you don't get much opportunity. So to get 15, 10, and 2, and Alex Toohey is, of course, named after the worst beer in the world. He's a Toohey new, but I don't know much about Alex Toohey, actually.
I don't know if it is the worst beer in Australia.
Well, unless there's another basketballer called Greg Great Northern.
He's just boring, bland.
What is?
I think again,
Toohey's New is pretty.
Toohey's New
tough.
is it's a tough drink. I think 4X is bang average.
Had a 4X on the weekend.
Oof. I think the worst beer again. I'm sorry, Western Australia. Emu Bitter is.
I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go with you, but I actually quite like an Emu Bitter. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't mind an Emu Bitter.
An EB.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, not into that. Oscar Piastri, your boy.
Yes.
He's at the top of the Drivers' Championship. He finished third in the Imola. Where's that? Grand Prix. Italy,
yeah.
Of course.
It's got the longest name. Actually, I'm going to look this up. Tell us how the race went while I look this up.
Oh, I think it went like around the track and they were all fast, and the other guy won. His mate won. Who's not his mate, but the guy also who races. And Oscar made a mistake, and that's why he came third. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's about right. That's right.
I thought so. Figure that.
So it is called the Formula One Qatar Airways Gran Primo del Made in Italy e dell'Emilia Romagna race. It's the longest name of any race in the world, I believe.
How many laps is it? Are they all the same? Something. Are they all the same amount of laps?
I think it's based on track distance or length or something, but they're all around, between 55 and 60-ish laps, I think. Changes. But it was an interesting race. He did qualify in pole, which is good, but he struggled a little bit at the start, lost a place. There was some pit errors, some bad decision-making on the team's part, which he was a little bit vocal at. Oscar Piastri, very mild-mannered, doesn't really complain, but and he didn't outwardly complain, but obviously not happy with how the team managed his race, and he ended up dropping back to third, but still, like I said, sits atop of the leaderboard. What I did love to see, though, Jack Doohan obviously got the arse. This is his first race out. His replacement, Franco Colapinto, crashed during the first qualifying session and had an absolute dud of a race. And not the crash, obviously. He was very safe. No harm was done. He was fine, but you don't want to see anyone crash. But you do want to see Jack Doohan's replacement fail miserably, which he did greatly. Just absolute shocker.
I mean, I don't know. Watching a crash in F1's always pretty entertaining.
There was a big one. There was a big flippity-dippity. Yuki Tsunoda did a barrel, but he was okay as well. Oh, what else we got on?
Oh, we've got Aussies. Cam Davies and Adam Scott finished tied for 19th on -2 at the PGA Championship. Quail Hollow. That sounds like a horror movie, doesn't it?
Quail Horror?
Quail Hollow. It's like, ugh, there's these angry birds after me. Golf and Country Club. Is that surely that's not a real thing?
Quail Hollow Golf?
The Quail Hollow Golf and Country Club sounds like somewhere like, it's like a shit area, but they're trying to make it bougie by putting a golf course there.
It probably is. It's a great course. I'll tell you what I did do this weekend. I bought PGA 2K on PS5, and I was playing that. And I did get around the Quail Hollow Golf and Country Club. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely resort. And country club.
Are you okay?
I'm all right.
You need
golf games aren't the most fun.
Speak to someone. That's what I mean. Yeah.
But I'm into it.
Your relationship's going well.
Happy
with your new stuff. Playing golf on. Oh, that's. Wow. Okay.
As a grown man, that is pretty sad. But I'm into it. Dools. I tell you what, I'm also into on the subject of golf. One of the playable characters in PGA 2K, Rory McIlroy, is coming out to the Australian Open in Melbourne later this year and next year, which is very exciting to get the best golfer in the world or one of the best golfers in the world out to Australia. I'll be heading down to watch that. You're going to come have a look at Rory swing a club?
Nah.
No? Fair enough.
I could not think of anything less interesting. Why is that exciting?
You get to see one of the best. What's if I don't know, if Michael Jordan was coming out to play basketball in his prime, or if so John Jones was coming to Australia, you'd be excited.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be allowed in the country.
That's
Jones,
true, actually. Yeah.
He just challenged DC to a fight. DC is like, I'm 46, retired, bro. Fight the guy that wants to fight. Yeah. Anyway, a beverage of Aussies are through to the bracket stages of the Margaret River Pro over in Western Australia. That's one thing that WA you guys are elite at, is big waves.
And wine.
Yes, in Margaret River, combining the two. And, in it is Ethan Ewing, Patrick's son, Jack Robinson, Izzy Nichols, and the GOAT, Guacamole Picklum.
Guacamole Picklum, they're in the bracket stage. I think it's on right now as we speak. I might be able to catch a little bit after the show. So that'll be wrapping up this week. We'll tell you all about who won. Or I'll tell you all about how Molly won next week on the pod. Speaking of surfing, 8-time world champion Steph Gilmore has all but confirmed a return to the top level next year following a quarter-final finish at the Gold Coast Pro last week, Dools, which is great news. The lady goat of surfing is mounting a little late-stage comeback.
We love this. We love Gilmore. Gilly, as she's known by the world over, not to be confused with Gilly, the former Test wicketkeeper. But we love Gilly. Both of them, but also Steph.
Mostly Steph. No, yeah. I love watching Adam Gilchrist play. Could Steph Gilmore be on the Australian athlete Mount Rushmore?
I thought you were going to ask if she could be the wicketkeeper for Australia. And look, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I tell you what, if she can finish on top at the end of this next season, quite possibly.
Okay, I love it.
Because it's like, then it's the story of like, oh, you've left and now you've come back at the return.
The Occy career arc.
Return of the king.
Queen.
Okay, Olympic bronze medalist Matthew Denny. Denny sounds like a nickname. Maybe his name's like Matthew Denizen or something like that.
I haven't fact-checked this, but yeah, Matty Denny.
Took home victory in the men's discus in Doha over the discus in Doha. That's got a good ring to it.
I like discus in Doha. That would be a sick sort of alternative rock band name.
Discus in Doha.
Discus in Doha.
Yeah, that'd get played on Triple J for
100%. They'd get votes in the Triple J Hottest 100.
And no one could tell you anything that they sung, but they would be known. They'd be in the zeitgeist.
Yes, definitely. Were you a discus or a shot put man, Dools?
I tell you what, I love a bit of shot put. They're athletes.
Yeah.
That's an athlete that I can identify with. I look at them, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see me doing that.
What is the least athletic athletics?
Golf.
No, it's in track and field, sorry.
I'd say shot put would have to be up.
It has to be, right?
Surely.
What else? The walk?
The walk, yeah. The walk, they look funny.
That just gives me shin splints thinking about it.
Don't you have to have your
heel toe or something?
Yeah, you have to have your foot on the ground at all time or something.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Not into that.
What other dumb? I'm trying to think of school athletics, or I think shot puts probably.
Shot
put feels
yeah.
like there's a bit more technique to it.
Well, you got to spin around, so you're fighting dizziness.
Yep.
It's like, if you ever went on those playground things where you had the thing and you spun around, and then you had to throw something. Oh,
that's a tough one.
Not into
what
that.
What are the 10 sports in the decathlon? Do you know?
Oh, there's definitely some form of running.
Let's see. I'll see if we can, while you go through them.
All right, decathlon. All right, pole vault. Pole vault?
Yep.
High jump.
I'm still bringing it up.
Long jump. So we've got pole vault, high jump, long jump, triple jump, hurdles, a sprint, marathon, javelin.
Yep.
Discus.
Yep.
Shooting.
There is one where they just randomly shoot, isn't there? Is that the pentathlon?
I don't know.
So it is, first day it's 100-meter dash. Then it's, what does it say? Running long jump. Oh, running long jump. Yep. Shot put, high jump, 400-meter run. Day 2 is the 110-meter hurdles, you called it. Discus throw, pole vault, javelin throw, big throw day, and a 1,500 meter run.
I did pretty well then.
You actually, I think you dead set actually nailed it.
I was going to throw swimming into the mix.
Is there a swimming version of
I don't know.
decathlon?
Well, because I thought
the medley.
it's like it's just
They do the medley.
10 things. So,
The medley's pretty impressive. Why don't the medley winners get more respect? They're the best swimmers out of all of them.
because they're the most rounded. Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing. Bruce Jenner celebrated as a photo of him, them, they, her.
Yeah.
winning.
You should clip that up.
It says his decathlon victory at 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal. So Britannica.com, update your pronouns, please. You're dead naming her.
Because Jenner, I'm not sure.
Caitlin.
Yeah. But do you still refer as Caitlin back then? I don't know what you meant.
I don't know what we should know. We're in
just
Brunswick.
say Jenner.
I
Yeah.
hope no one's listening outside.
No.
Otherwise, we might get the arse out of the studio. But yeah, we should stick to what little we do know.
Yeah.
Stay away from this choppy territory.
Apparently, I was going to say Jenner, elite, was pointy, a national hero in America. I didn't know that.
You never. That's the only decathlete I know.
I didn't even know Jenner was a decathlete.
The only reason I know is because I have from time to time kept up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, right. Okay. That's where I thought Jenner was famous, from the Kardashians.
So did I. Anything in depth you wanted to talk about? And Jack Della's upcoming might be coming out to Perth in September against Islam.
If Jack Della fought an entire religion in Perth, that would be that stadium. If that's got to be at Optus Stadium, and it'll be
Should be it. That could be at Optus Stadium.
That would go off.
There's no way Islam's coming back to Perth. I was there for the Volk fight. It was insane. The commentators even mentioned the hottest crowd they've ever seen. It was electric. There's no way he's going to want to come into enemy territory. Bit weird to Ilya and him vacating their titles.
Why hasn't John Jones been pushed to vacate his title? You know, he won, he took some time off, and then he comes back against Stipe, who's well over the hill at that point. He's taken more time off. He's got people being like, hey, I'm ready to fight. Don't know, maybe old Uncle Dana should get off John Jones's, you know.
He does love him, though. He does love him. Are you ready for this?
Okay, it's time, folks.
The random Josh Giddey stat of the week. This was we are kind of getting towards the bottom of the barrel, considering he hasn't played a game in about a month. But this stat did pique my interest very, very. Did you know that Josh Giddey is in the top 1% of super coach players in the world?
That's amazing.
How much time do these NBA players have? I mean, I know they got 82 games, but super coach. I was talking to friends about this yesterday. I don't have the time.
Can you see? Are you able to see his team? Yeah.
I think you can. I don't know.
wonder who's in his team.
I'll have a quick look. You ever a super coach guy?
I was, but when you work in the system, as I did for many years, you're not allowed to partake in that because of the prizes involved, and that's seen as bringing the game into disrepute or something. It's viewed the same way as gambling. So I was never in on it, which is a shame because I would have absolutely dominated knowing all the insight. I know this player's in this week. This player's been, thrown forward. That's but no, haven't played for about 15 years, I think. Which was a long, because I would have played in 2008 or 9 when I was living in America. Okay, but then when I came back, started working in sport in the AFL, haven't played since, and now that even though it's been a few years, no interest now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I've got a new segment.
Oh.
Brand new segment.
I love a segment.
This one's called the Rant. So if you've ever got a rant, we can just rant about anything. Sports adjacent. It doesn't have to be. But I saw a clip this week. And speaking of clips, I got a couple of clips coming up for a couple of people happening right now. I saw a clip. It was put out by the Sporting Globe. Do you know the Sporting Globe?
Yes.
The popular sports bar chain. bunch of dog cunts, if you ask me, Dool. I'll get to that in a second. Sorry to the listeners at home. But they've pissed me off in a couple of ways. Firstly, they put up this clip, which is a nice little interview with Dyson Daniels, our favourite.
Yep, we love him. The Great Barrier Thief.
The Great Barrier Thief.
Crocodile Dundee.
The most improved player, the should have been defensive player of the year, the will be all defensive first team Dyson Daniels. And they asked him, what does he order at the pub? And he said, and he's from Bendigo?
Yep.
He said, I'll get a palmy instead of a palmer.
I'm off him.
Yeah, that's it. He was one of our favourites, but I don't think we can have him. I don't think we can talk about him on the show.
Surely, that's because the Sporting Globe have told him or his management have told him to say that. Surely.
That's if his PR person needs to be sacked, because I didn't think I could, because I don't respect anyone more than Dyson Daniels? I don't think so, not this year. And I've got no respect for him. The other issue is this Sporting Globe, this company, Dools, what they're doing to people's reputation is the disgrace. If you go, you can do this right now. I'll jump on Instagram, go to the Sporting Globe, and what you'll find on the front page in the first little squares, you'll obviously see this Dyson Daniels clip. If you look down a couple of posts later, you know what you'll see?
What?
The 2024 Geelong Comedian of the Year, Stephen Bradshaw, at the Geelong Sporting Globe. I'm right there. No payment. They haven't hit me up. They haven't said, hey, we've got the Geelong Comedian of the Year at the Geelong Sporting Globe. We're going to post a photo of him, but haven't tagged me, haven't commented. I reached out to them, Dools, this is true. I reached out to their DMs. I said, hey, you know you've got the 2024 Geelong Comedian of the Year. How about you give me some free beers, a voucher, something? Gave them nothing, Dools. So not only are they ruining Dyson Daniels' career, basically, his legacy, they're also taking advantage of my likeness to sell beer and palmies.
That is wild.
It is wild, right?
I can't.
You can see why I'm so upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the question.
You're replying right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Is that the 2024 Geelong Comedian of the Year, Stephen Bradshaw at the Geelong Sporting Globe? And don't worry, I'll be tagging them when I clip this up. I'll probably edit out the bit where I called them dog C's, but you can see I'm a bit fired up. You can't be going around using my likeness to move bookings. I'm sure their stock has gone up significantly since they put up that post of me on there.
Kelvin Moore, former Richmond defender, do better. Because he's involved with them.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Calvin.
Yeah.
It's your social media team I'm taking issue with. And how much do you reckon they paid Dyson to do that interview that ruined his career?
Oh, that is just... I'm just staggered, to be honest. Surely, he's got blood money. He's got blood on his hands. Apart from lots of steals, he's got lots of blood.
Neapolitan sauce or whatever.
No, Neapolitan, sorry. Just a bit of an update. Someone in the comments is backing us against Chris off Botha, who said, you can run a podcast. Comments? Yeah.
What did they say?
Periri 2023 is like anyone can run a podcast, bro. In reply to him, you get it, brother. You
get it, bro. Are you listening? Are you listening live on the Budgy Smugglers?
Maybe.
Oh, some exciting news, not to be announced yet, but we will be announcing maybe something where you could come and see the Budgy Smugglers in person coming up. But lots of news to be coming up. Whatever. I've lost my way. I'm killing it today, Dools. Killing it. I'll try and edit that part out. But I do want to talk about our Aussie of the Week, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
My Aussie of the Week is Stephanie Kyriacou. She is the world LPGA women's 39 ranked player in the world. She's a 24-year-old from Sydney. She's been pro for 4 years, on the LPGA for 2 years. She finished tied for second in the Evian Championship, which is one of the big lady majors. And she's tied for seventh at the British Open in 2022. She is the one to watch. She hails from Sydney. She's a powerful 5'2" of just smashing. Oh, I can't wait to play her on 2K PGA. when I get home. She was the 2020 Let Rookie of the Year. And I'm backing it in. This, you could call this my biased take as well as the Aussie of the Week, Stephanie Kyriacou. She will win a major in the next 12 months.
Oof.
Calling it here. Steph, we're backing you in at the Budgy Smugglers.
Let's get it.
She's going to win a major in the next year. She's on fire at the moment, and she's one of our favourites at the Budgy Smugglers. She's moving into that guacamole tier of our favourites.
I was about to say,
no one else is backing.
No, that's true. I was about to say we should go in January to watch Steph Kyriacou at the Australian Open, and then I forgot that she plays golf, not tennis. Okay, was born though.
She will be at the Australian Open. The Australian Open golf, where Rory McIlroy will be. I think it's the Australian Open, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Australian Open in Melbourne. She'll be here. It's one of the only major golf tournaments where the men and the ladies play at the same time. So we can go see Rory, we can go see Steph. I'll get a photo with her. It'll be great. Great weekend out.
Born Steph Kyriacou on the 22nd of November. What else? What other major cultural moments have happened on the 22nd of November?
The 22nd of November.
Go. Yeah. She was born 22nd of November, the year 2000. Born in this century, in this millennium, in the past century / millennium. What are some big things that have happened culturally, Stephen Bradshaw?
Other than Steph Kyriacou being born?
I know, yeah. There are a couple of big things have happened on that day.
I have no idea. Oh, shit. Okay, I've just looked
Couple of big things.
Couple of big things.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk us through? Is there more than this one?
Oh, there's 2. Oh, possibly 3, maybe 4, actually.
Yeah, I can't believe that November 22nd is Lebanese Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly.
And coming from Brunswick.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, so November 22nd, 1963, John F. Kennedy assassinated.
Yes.
November 22nd, 19-something, 60-something, my mum was born.
Oh.
November 22nd, 1990-something, my mum and stepdad also got married. No, November 22nd, 1997, Michael Hutchins died.
Wow. So a lot's happened on the
November 22nd, 2000, the future GOAT, Steph Kyriacou, born.
It's a day where legends are made and legends are shot in the head.
Yeah.
So, and she's going to be shooting birdies is what she's going to be doing from the grassy knoll.
Like Michael Diamond.
She's made. Also, in November 22, 1975, Juan Carlos is declared King of Spain following the death of Francisco Franco.
Wow, there you go.
That's what jumps out in my mind.
What about 2 Carlos? No, is it just 1?
No, just 1.
Okay.
I think the second king, the King of Spain, Dos Carlos.
Oh, yeah, Dos.
Anyway, that's who else was born? Sorry, well, I'm just going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here. Any other famous ones?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of.
No.
First time I saw the band Midnight Oil was on the 22nd of November.
Did your mum take you for a
She did, actually. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing much. What a digression. But thank you, Steph Kyriacou, for taking us down that rabbit hole.
Okay, now I've got a list here.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I can say this is a top 5 because it could be bigger.
Yep.
All right, now we copped a lot of heat in the comments from people across the ditch in New Zealand about Aussie Sport team names, and some of them were not complimentary. This is the Jeremy's top insert random amount of number of shit Aussie Sport team names.
Oh, these are ones that exist?
These are ones that exist.
Okay, so top 5 shit Aussie sports team names.
Yeah. Actually, let's go. I'm going to change it instantly
On the
here.
fly. I love it.
Yeah. Top 5 sports teams that shouldn't be a national sport team but are.
Okay. Australian?
Yeah.
Australian national sports teams.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's go. Say it one more time.
Okay. I can't the top 5 Aussie sport teams that shouldn't be an Aussie sport team and their nickname.
All right.
Or
fantastic.
something of that ilk.
Nailed it.
Okay. Goal ball.
What?
What's goal ball? Okay, and the women's national team are called the Aussie Bells.
Aussie Bells?
Not like bells I'm doing like Bell's Beach here.
Oh, I thought you were doing Bell's Balls.
And the men's team are called the Aussie Storm. All right, we've got
What was the sport?
goal ball.
What the hell is
I don't even know what that is.
Is it GOAL ball?
One word, apparently.
Goal ball.
Yeah.
It's a team sport played indoors by athletes with vision impairment. Okay. We've just been making fun of the blind.
Yep. Still, not good names.
What was the men's team called?
Aussie Storm.
Aussie Storm. Okay. You don't see a storm coming.
Quizzing.
What?
The Australian quiz team.
What do you mean? That's a sport?
I feel like it's just like a group of people sitting around like the cafeteria table doing the Herald Sun quiz. They're called the Quackers. Good name,
That's
though.
a great
name. Good name. We like
Quizzing
that.
Australia is a non-profit organization. No, I don't know. Australian Quiz Champ. I don't know. This is bizarre. You're quizzed, Harry. There's some terrible names when you go to a pub quiz, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Absolute shockers. All right. So we've had quiz, we've had goal ball.
Yep. Okay. So we're not talking lacrosse. We're talking box lacrosse.
What?
I don't know what that is either.
And we've got a team?
Yeah, a men's team.
Okay.
They're called the Boxeroos.
The box lacrosse, also known as a boxla. Box or indoor lacrosse is it's just indoor lacrosse.
Ah, okay. Just call it lacrosse then.
And what would we call it? The Boxeroos?
Boxeroos.
Why wouldn't they just call them the boxing kangaroos or something?
Yeah, but yep.
Sorry. Your list.
We've got disc golf.
Disc golf is fun.
I don't know what that is.
I think that's frisbee golf.
Okay, just call it that. They're called the Sugar Gliders. The best name.
Come on, that's a great
It makes sense.
name.
No, the best name though.
Okay.
Roller derby. The Wizards of Oz.
Oh,
that's a good name.
Oh, shout out to the roller derby girls and boys of the Wizards of Oz. I love that one.
You're a big fan of this next sport. It's, of course, our favourite.
Cornholing.
Universiade. Universiade.
What do you mean? Is that the sport or the team?
It's the sport.
What is it?
I don't know. And they're called the Australian Uniroos.
Okay.
And all right. Okay, I'm going to ask you what sport these three teams belong to. So we've got the men's team, the women's team, and the men's masters.
Okay.
All right, for a sport. Yeah. Okay, the men's masters are the dugongs.
Okay.
The women's team are the possums.
Okay.
And the men's team, the wombats.
I would imagine hole digging.
Fistball.
Oh, for crying out loud. There's masters?
Masters of the fist.
I reckon I could. I reckon one day I could be good enough to represent the Dugons in fistball.
I don't even know what fistball is, but it does sound like a late night weekend activity. I tell you what, the Kiwis have definitely got us beat in badminton because our national team are called the Falcons. Boring.
Oh, that sucks.
What about the backyard ultra marathon team?
What the hell is a backyard?
How big's their backyard?
That must. Or do they just run around in a small?
Run around their backyard. Their team are called the Red Backyarders.
That's pretty clever, actually.
They're the teams. I can't remember what we called this. Oh, ice hockey. The
Mother Puckers.
That would be a great name. So the women's team are called the Mighty Jills and the men's the Mighty Roos, trying to do the whole Mighty Ducks thing.
Yep.
Not into that. I think the most common name are the Wombats. But okay, here's one. We'll end on. Actually, there's a few that we'll end on.
Okay,
the World Medical Football Championship team, the Dockeroos.
Do they use a medicine ball?
I don't hope so. That would be hilarious. Okay, so the netball, the women's national team.
Yeah.
Are the Diamonds.
Yeah. Love that.
What are the men's national team called?
Oh, I know they love to dance. Are they the Ray Guns?
The Kelpies, formerly known as Sonics, and Sonics was spelled Sonix. They could do better.
That's rough.
Tell you what, rugby union men's sevens, They're
Which
called,
rugby is that?
I don't know. There's 7
another
of them.
one?
Yeah, I know.
There's a
How
third
many
rugby?
types of rugby are there?
Oh my God. Do we even need one, let alone that's the third I've heard about?
The men's sevens team are called the Thunderbolts, and the women's sevens team are called the Pearls. Ooh. This is quite a long list.
Yeah,
this
it's
week.
a long list. It's more.
We'll get back to 5 next week.
Top 15, but I like it. The Pearls. Oh, that was sorry. What was the name of it again?
The top 5 Aussie national team nicknames that aren't good at the moment.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to clip up. All right, I got a big question for you, Jules.
Yep.
Former professional cyclist, I don't know if you read or heard about this.
I did.
Former professional cyclist Rowan Dennis has been given a suspended sentence over a crash which killed his Olympian wife, Melissa Hoskins. It's very sad news. We're definitely not going to make light of that situation. But the question is, should cyclists be allowed to drive cars?
Firstly, he's a murderer and should be in jail. I'm going there. Fucking
What
going
happened?
there. I'm going. So they had a fight. He ran over her. That guy's a murderer. Should be in jail.
Is that what happened?
Allegedly a murderer. Should be in jail. Too many Aussie women.
Was she in the cyclist lane?
First, and then secondly, like we should have a segment of random. Maybe we should expand last week's top 5 to just random Aussie athletes who should be in the boot of a car. Rowan Dennis, you should be.
If you go back at the archives, we do have a top 5 Aussie athletes that were convicted of something.
Oh, yeah.
We could just retitle that one if you want.
Yeah.
So this guy sounds like a real piece of shit. I didn't know any of this.
No, he's a massive piece of shit. And should cyclists be allowed to drive cars? I think if they have to like wear the same thing inside the car, because then you can tell like that guy's going to be a shit driver and he's just going to pull out in front of me because he's wearing a helmet whilst driving down Sydney Road. It's like if you see someone in a car wearing a helmet and Lycra, they're probably, not going to be a good driver. Although, did you see during the COVID years when people would be driving a car on their own wearing a mask?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who's that protecting?
Why are people still wearing masks?
Yeah, don't know. Do your own research.
Yeah. My vote is no. You see them on the roads. They're all over the joint.
Yeah.
But yes, put Rowan Dennis in jail is our vote for what it's worth. Sticking to what little we know.
I feel like that should be our tagline.
I was just thinking, I literally just had the same idea. Well, I'm going to update all of our bios.
Yeah.
Sticking to what little they do know. Thank you for the tagline. What was his name, Jules?
I don't know. He's a flog.
He's a knobber, but we are going to go with PT198NJ. Thank you, PT.
Stick to what little you know. And we know very little about the things we know.
Oh, it's Mick O'Neill. Thank you, Mick O'Neill, over on Instagram. Let's find out. Oh, God. The photo, he's got a private account. All right. Well, you can post this clip to your 57 followers, Mick O'Neill, you fucking loser. Sorry. I've been a bit coarse today.
Been very aggressive. This is a very aggressive episode
We
for
don't
us.
normally film this late in the day.
We're tackling serious things. And not so serious things. I've got something in my pocket here.
Okay, great.
Oh, this is the running order from the Friday night gig.
What was the running order?
It was
Give
me.
everyone a ranking out of 10.
Okay. Zach Riley's moment with the front row was phenomenal.
That was great.
It was incredibly awkward about dads. John Walpole scared people, like leering over them.
Big unit. I've never worked with John before. He's very good.
Very tall.
Funny.
He would look great dressed up as Snape. Is that the guy? Is that the guy I'm thinking about? Alan Rickman.
Yeah, you're kind of stepping on Alec Fry's gimmick infringement there.
John Walpole, though, would be very good at it.
Yes. Comparatively, yes.
Stephen Bradshaw, you closed out the first bracket.
Killed it, by the way.
you
Absolutely
went on a
killed
real big pun run. You should get sponsored by Master Foods the next comedy festival. Blaze White kicked off the second bracket, and he had some good
new gear.
Good new gear.
Love the new gear.
And Greg Fleet closed the show, and he was Greg Fleet.
Sure was. I'll tell you what it's time for, Dools.
What's that?
It's time for this week's power rankings.
Oh, God. All right. Far away.
Let's go. So the Aussie athlete power rankings coming in at number 10. It's Matisse Leatherbarrow.
I thought it was going to be Thibault.
No. Matisse Leatherbarrow. Do you know much about Matisse?
What's his name? Matisse
what's her
name? Oh, her.
Matisse Leatherbarrow.
Oh. I don't know. A leathersmith. A leatherer.
Do you know what sport?
Like blacksmithing, jousting.
Medieval jousting.
Yeah, it's a medieval sport. It's very
jouster.
medieval name.
No, she leads the league in super shots. See, does that give you a better clue?
Golf.
She plays for the Giants.
In AFLW.
Matisse
North Melbourne Giants.
Leatherbarrow plays netball.
There you go.
She leads the league in super shots. You know what a super shot is?
They're like a 3-pointer.
I think that's their 3-pointers.
Yeah, okay.
But I thought we should give netball a little bit of love.
Yeah.
There's actually one girl dominating, and I had her in this place, but turns out she's Kiwi. So she can fuck off, go play for the Tall Ferns.
Shani Layton. Shani Layton. I know Shani Layton. She played netball and for Collingwood in football.
Really? Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. At number 9, speaking of Collingwood, I've got Nick Dacos.
Nicky!
Best player on the, sickens me to say, best team in the league at the moment. They're clear head on top of the ladder, which makes me sad. They're playing great football. Nick looks great. I think he's knocked out Bailey Smith for best player in the league. Bond's making a case for it.
What about Bailey Dale? He got like 50 touches on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, 49, I think. That was quite running amok for the Bulldogs. I think that says more about Essendon than it does about Bailey Dale, who's a very good player. But
Bombers are running around just like, which one of you's on Bailey? Well, you know what I mean?
Which one of you is Bailey? I know. That's what they were saying when they went to line up in the back line. But I did, after the gig on Saturday night, I bumped into, there was one very happy Bulldog supporter, 2 very sad Essendon supporters, and it was a long elevator ride up to the top level of the car park while I gave them shit the entire time.
Well, maybe we save it for next week. The question that I just have in my head there about Essendon, and are they the shittest football or sporting team in the country at the moment?
That's a good top. No, well, I think we'll just do a deep dive in depth. I'll put it down here. Bombers being shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they've had the worst last 20 years, surely.
Yep. And we love to see it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best. Absolute best. In number 8, she's one of our favourites. It is Guacamole Pickler. She's dominating, I think. Is this the one? She hasn't had a win all season. She's had a lot of top 3. She's been in every final. She's been in up to her eyeballs in points, but I think her time in Margaret River, it's her time.
Yep, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
That's correct. Speaking of time, in number 7, I've still got Timeless Tony Storm. Again, on fire for AEW.
That's it, yes, the wrestler. I was like, I don't know what sport that is.
She is our number 1 professional wrestler in the world, I'm going to say. You can check with your mate, what's his name?
Carlo Cash Money Cannon.
Ask Cash Money who he thinks the best Aussie wrestler is right now. I guarantee you he'll say Timeless Tony Storm. In number 6, because I don't know why, it's Adam Scott. The golfer.
Yes. The golfer.
He came, yes. He was 19th. I don't know. I think top 20 in a major championship's pretty good.
I thought you meant my partner's brother's best mate. And I was like, okay, I didn't know he was an athlete, but sure, okay.
He probably plays golf. Anyway, I can't wait to play Adam Scott on PGA 2K25 when I get home. I know that this guy throws. It's Matthew Denny.
I thought you were going to say Dellavedova. Because he does.
He does throw a lot. But Matthew Denny getting a gold medal. That's pretty good.
Legitimately throws.
Throws discuses further than anyone in the Discus in Doha.
Yep. They've named a restaurant chain after him in America.
Denny's. It's very good. They serve everything on a discus.
Yeah. And they throw it at you.
They throw it at you from the kitchen. It's really good. In number 4, he's fallen down when he's gone the opposite direction. Number 4, after a third place finish in Imola, it is Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Still ranked number 1 in the world, but I thought this was his week, but he hasn't done it. In number 3, he's the GOAT. It's Alexander, the great Volkanovski, holding off to his third place there. In number 2, still fresh. These will change over the next few weeks, but you can't go past Jack Dell and Madalena in these Aussie Athlete Power Rankings. And in number 1 on the Aussie Athlete Power Rankings, it's our girl, Stephanie Kyriacou. Hey. 2 top 10 finishes, 1 repost. That's all you need to get to the top of the rankings here at the Budgy Smugglers. Good on you, Steph. She's our favourite. Keep an eye on her. She's going to win a major in the next 12 months. And that is it. Anything else you want to chat about, Tools?
I was going to say Dyson Daniels. If you want to get back in the top 10, figure out,
He's out. I should have. I think this is. He's missed out on a
fall
couple.
From grace.
You will never, ever see the top 10 of the rankings again until you retract your statements or until the Sporting Globe pay me the money they owe me for using my likeness to sell Palmas.
Yeah, Palmers. Get it right, Dyson. I've been to Bendigo. You don't say Palmies there.
No, never. I can't believe it's really.
What are they doing to you in Atlanta? You've changed, Dyson. You have changed. Hope Dash doesn't do the same as you.
He won't. I'm going to message Dash and ask him about what he calls a Palmer. Palmer, he'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got on this week, Dools?
It's a bit of a mixed bag this week. Got some corporates, which is always fun, but they pay well and they need to because they are not good for your self-esteem as a comedian. So I got a couple of them. And then on what can people actually come to? Wednesday, I'm playing at Smart Brothers Brewery in Hastings with Katie Wainhouse and Dave Hughes.
The Aussie pub guys.
Yep. So that'll be a great gig. And then, then privates on the weekend. So
very, very good.
It's a good week. Good week shows. But yeah, that's the only one that people can actually come to. I think there's still a couple of tickets available. Last time I checked, there was less than 10. Smart Brothers Brewing in Hastings.
Katie and who?
Katie Wainhouse and Dave Hughes.
Wow.
Hughesy.
What a bloody good lineup that is.
There's 2 genuine headliners and me.
Yes, 3. 3 headliners, baby, because you'll be headlining on June, the 21st of June. 4 comedians, 4 beers at Ocean Reach Brewing. Tickets are starting to move now. It's still got 5 weeks, so it's good. People are getting in early because it will sell out.
That's a big week for me that week.
Yeah, it's got me too. And then, of course, I've got. Where am I tomorrow? I'm at Central Comedy Club Hotel.
Okay.
Central Club Hotel Comedy, maybe. Know nothing of it.
Nope.
And then I've completely forgotten to book any other gigs. So I'll find my way onto a few shows by the end of this week. But of course, and these are selling fast. Saturday, the 7th of June. If you're in Central Victoria, come to Comedy Night at the Union Hotel in Heathcote. Those tickets are moving. The first one sold out. This will sell out as well. It's me, Zach Riley, who we spoke about, Hannah Sainty, and David Rose. So that'll be a good show as well.
Great lineup. Really, really good lineup. And look, if you've gotten this far in the podcast, we love you because you understand what we're doing.
You get it.
You know that we know a little, but we talk about it and we laugh about it.
And that's what we stick to, what little we do know.
Exactly. If you're in the comments, just know that we know a little bit more than you.
And that is it. Thank you so much, Smugglers. Have a good week, everyone.
See ya. Bye.